Hi guys, my name is Marius and I'm a trainer at The Real Man. And I'm here now with Tommy, one of our participants of our Attraction Mastery Bootcamp for Men. He came all the way from Sweden, so it will be an interesting talk about his feedback regarding the experience he had during the bootcamp and some insights he will share with you. So let's start. Tommy, I will ask you the first question. So I want to know, Tommy, what made you join our bootcamp?
Well, I heard about this bootcamp from a Romanian friend who had been on the bootcamp 2 times before.
And I think actually around 4 or 5 times. I think he lied to you. He's not your friend.
Oh, you may be right. Yeah, he probably lied to me. He strongly recommended to come, which is obvious if he's been there 4 or 5 times before. It has to be a good bootcamp. And I've been interested in self-development, and I had some struggles with man-woman relationships in the past. So I thought, let's just join and see what this bootcamp has to offer. So these were the motivations.
So you came with an open mind and an open heart?
Very much so.
Great. And if you would be able, looking back now at the camp, what did you like about the bootcamp?
Well, the most important thing in the bootcamp for me personally was that it involved lots of exercises in a group and with experienced trainers at the classroom level as well as on the field, on the beaches of the Vamma-Veka resort, as well as in the street life. And these exercises were forcing me to come out of my comfort zone and all the time expand my level of social feeling of social comfort, and made me a better communicator, especially when it comes to creating new connections with people in general, and especially when it comes to meeting attractive women.
Okay. And I would guess also that the group helped, being with seeing that other men also struggle with this, and you are not alone. Okay, and I think that helped also.
Yes, that helped a lot, and it was really helpful to see that basically all other men are struggling with similar problems, and we can support each other in trying to sort out those issues.
Yeah.
And it was great to see that all of the guys on the course made developments during the bootcamp. So it seemed to work really well for all of us.
And of course, effort pays off. And also probably what I wanted to ask you is what interesting insights have you gotten from the bootcamp? What have you learned basically from the bootcamp?
A very important lesson for me has been in communicating with women. I made the mistake before of being the nice guy and just resorting to feeling comfortable when communicating. I haven't had the idea that creating tension in the communication would actually lead to more attraction and better relationships. So this is what I'm going to do in the future. I will use the principles of tension, comfort, and push and pull to increase the level of attraction and create stronger relationships.
So what I can see is that for you, the most or one of the most important insights you got was that creating tension when talking to a woman leads to attraction, and that was a new insight for you, right?
Exactly, that was a new and very important insight.
Great. And having this in mind, when you look back to your previous Not necessarily relationships. You can include relationships, but looking back at previous interactions with women, what was your weak spot, your weak points? More specifically, what did you do wrong?
Often I was not brave enough to generate the tension. I wasn't masculine enough often. And this course made me realize that saying things that challenge and are playful and maybe sexual is actually increasing the level of attraction, and is part of, you could say, a positive interaction between men and women, rather than being plainly rude. This was an important insight for me. So it increases the dimensions of the interaction,
the possibilities,
with women, rather than being just a nice guy and resorting to the feeling of being comfortable. I can add other elements to increase tension and generate
build attraction. Build attraction. Yeah, great. So basically, before this, you were just playing it safe. We can say that. Right. We can safely say that you are playing it safe with women. And I think a lot of guys, including myself in the beginning, I was the same, and I think a lot of guys can relate with that, like playing it safe, and then wondering, man, what did I do wrong? Because she's talking with me and she's telling me about another guy that is acting like a jerk. And she's although he's acting like a jerk to her, she's talking about him, and she thinks, should I see him? Should I stop seeing him? And it happened to me also. I was wondering, like, why are you still seeing him if he's a jerk? And why aren't you going out with me? Because I'm a nice guy, I'm listening to you. And these were all going in my mind, and I was asking myself what's happening. But of course, there are steps that you can make so you don't get into the friend zone. Yeah. And one of them is, don't be afraid to build some tension into the conversation.
That was exactly my point as well.
Yeah. So, as a recap, up to now, you will basically you will be more creating more tension, and not being afraid to, because guys are wondering, okay, so how can I create tension? So basically you will try to be more challenging, right? And
challenging the woman, being playful, creating sexual tension.
Using even using some words like sexy, like
exactly,
pleasure, like things that would paint in her mind this view of some nice feelings, but in a sensual way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's great. And maybe if you have another, or if this is, we can just talk more about its importance. So what was the most important thing or idea that you learned and you would like to share with other men? So beside this being more playful and creating tension with women, is there like another thing that like stuck to your mind and you really appreciated and you learned at the bootcamp?
I have a very general comment on that, and that relates to the previous efforts of trying to change my own behavior and trying to do it alone. Here at the bootcamp, I realized the strength of a group and having trainers around when you try to increase the level of your social comfort in various situations. It is greatly helpful to have a support group to do things together and do things that are feeling awkward and uncomfortable, and exceeding your limits, so that, that's the only way to actually develop yourself in this area.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I know.
That's been extremely important.
So basically, what I want to add to this is that the power of the group can be very helpful, as another brother said in the general feedback, that seeing your brothers go, even if they are uncomfortable, even if their mouths are getting dry, seeing them go, it boosts your confidence, and you can say, okay, I can do it too. So I totally agree with that. Okay, Tommy, would you recommend this bootcamp to other men, and why?
I would definitely recommend it to other men. It's been one of the most insightful weeks of my lifetime, and I don't think I've ever had so many new experiences during 1 week. So I would recommend to have an open mind and just join in and see what happens.
Yeah. So basically this 1 week, you did more new things regarding interacting with women than you have did in lifetime, basically. I'm not mistaken if I'm saying that.
Also, and it also involved elements of meditation and breaking your mental barriers, and these are things that were totally new for me. So
this would be the reasons why you would recommend it. It's not only about women.
Not only
interacting with women. It's also some deep work with yourself.
Exactly.
Awesome. That's great. And Tommy, I think we're nearing the end. So please tell me if you have one last message to the guys that are listening.
Come to the bootcamp, give it a go, and hope it works for you as well as it worked for me.
Okay, Tommy, it was a pleasure working with you this week. And also thanks for the feedback and the interview. So have a great life. Enjoy and use and apply what you learned here. And maybe we'll see each other again in the future.
I hope so. Thanks so much.
Great.